Welcome to the post-race press conference after the FIA Formula One Monaco Grand Prix. Leclerc is still in the TV pen, so we're joined now by our second and third placed finishers after their exertions in the Monaco Grand Prix. Oscarpiastri, Carlos Sainz. Very warm welcome. Oscar, let's start with you. Many congratulations. Your third podium in Formula One. Just how much did you enjoy those podium celebrations, first of all?
I'll tell you what, I think I slept longer than I did last night waiting for Charles just now. No, I'm very, very happy. Yeah, third podium in F1 certainly doesn't get old. So, no, very happy to have it here in Monaco, especially, you know, if there's one podium apart from your home podium that you want to stand on, it's probably here. So, very, very pleased for the whole team. I think especially for our side of the garage, it's been a promising few weekends now, and nice to finally get a good result out of it. So, very, very happy.
And in terms of your battle with Charles, was there any moment in the race when you were tempted to send it?
I had an attempt about 10 or 15 laps in, into turn 8. We were going pretty slow. I think at one point we were going slower than Formula 2. So, you know, when you're going that slow, you've got a fair few options. But I kind of knew that once I showed my hand in where I was going to try and overtake, that he would probably be wise to it from there. So I managed to get very close in turn 7, one lap. Tried to show the nose in turn 8, but he reacted just quick enough. So after that point, I knew I was going to be very limited on options.
And how was the performance of the car? You were carrying a bit of floor damage after your moment with Carlos at the original start.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I think for the first half of the race, it was impossible to tell, you know, what the penalty of that was. I think towards the end, I think probably a combination of, you know, trying to keep the pace of the race, you know, reasonably quick, plus the floor. Yeah, just struggled a little bit towards the end, but overall pretty happy with it. And yeah, the last 10 laps or so, I was pretty happy we were in Monaco.
And you said a moment ago it's been a good few races for you now, but can we throw it forward? What does this weekend say about McLaren's competitive position in Formula One? Do you think now you're a factor? You can win every race going forward if the cards fall for you?
I think so. You know, I think it's been 3 very different circuits in the past 3 races, and we've been competitive at all of them. You know, Miami was, you know, probably one of our worst circuits before this year. Imola's always been kind to us, but we had a very strong weekend there, and you know, here's been, let's say, our car's never been the strongest in the slow corners, and this weekend we've been very quick again. So I think we can be confident wherever we go. You know, I feel like we don't have to rely on the high-speed circuits like we did last year to get our results, which is a very exciting thing to have going forward. And yeah, I think the pecking order is as tight as it's ever been. You know, especially this weekend, going to qualifying, I think, you know, we thought that there could be any one of four teams on pole, which I don't think we've been able to say for a while. So, no, I think we can definitely be in the fight every weekend.
All right, thank you for that. Carlos, let's come to you now. Your third Monaco podium in the last 4 years. What does this one mean to you?
I think it means more for the fact that being a Ferrari driver, being P3, but especially seeing your teammate that is Monegasque standing on top of the podium in front of his home crowd, in front of all the tifosi and all the mechanics, I think is one of the best images I've seen in Formula One, and extremely happy for him, for the team. He deserves it because he's driven at an incredible level this weekend, and he's put together a really solid weekend. And yeah, it was coming for him, I felt, because he was driving really well recently. And yeah, it's a really good day for Ferrari and Charles.
Can I take you back to the original start now? Oscar touched on the incident between the two of you. Can we get your thoughts on what happened at the original turn 1?
Yeah, I got a really good start, and I had kind of an opportunity going into turn 1 and I arrived a bit long with a lot of understeer in the car and trying to keep the position with Oscar, as it's pretty much your only chance to pass. Then I understeered off a bit into him on the exit, and we had the slightest of contacts. For some reason, Oscar and we seem to have a magnet recently between each other. For some reason that I don't understand, because we get on well and everything is okay, but we seem to always find each other on track. And I didn't even feel the contact. It was so slight, or it was so small that I didn't even see it or feel it. But as soon as I exit turn one, I could feel the puncture, and it looked like my race was over there at one point. And then obviously lucky to get the P3 back and race from there the rest of the race.
Was there any lasting damage on your car, or were the team able to completely fix any issues in the brake?
No, even when you see the tire, it was such a slight cut that the tire got from the contact that there was no issues with the car, no damage. It was just the smallest of contacts, and a bit unlucky to get the puncture in a way, but then lucky to get the position back, no? And from there on, honestly, it was a new race, and we had our opportunities, but never really a clear one.
How frustrating is it, Carlos, to be in a train of cars like that, lapping slower than you're capable of going? Did you get tempted to send it down the inside of Oscar?
I got tempted a few times, but after lap one, and obviously knowing that Monaco is a bit of a all or nothing, you know that when you go for a move, the most likely outcome is a contact between the two cars and a potential DNF for the two cars. And I felt like that was too much to lose for both Oscar and myself, and my team. So unfortunately, Monaco is like that. I did have my opportunities and my temptations, both in the first 15 laps and in the last 10 laps, but never really a clear chance to see how we could get out of the corner untouched. So as I knew from Friday, my race pace was going to be good. I was the fastest on Friday practice in terms of race pace. Again, today when I could show the pace, it was really, really good, but Monaco is track position, and we lost it to Oscar yesterday.
And let's throw it forward now. Ferrari are just 24 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. Do you think this is a genuine title fight now? Do you think you have the car underneath you to challenge every weekend?
I think my common sense tells me that in normal tracks, Red Bull should still be favorites. Domination, like we were seeing, hopefully not, but favorites, yes. And then it will be a very tight fight with both McLaren and us. I think we are all three at a very similar level. Our last reference of a normal track is Imola and Miami. And if I see those two tracks, we seem to be half a tenth behind McLaren and maybe a tenth or two behind Red Bull. It still means that any small progress, any small upgrade, any small thing that we bring to the car might switch it to a potential race victory, or a winning car. So Monaco, we've always been strong. Street circuits like Singapore and last year in Monaco, it shows the strengths of the Ferrari. And at the same time, being within 24 points of the Red Bull in the constructors, you see that when you put them under pressure yesterday, Max did a mistake in Q3 run 2, Checo was out in Q1. We all just need to be there, to show that these things can happen to Red Bull too, and yesterday is the best example.